over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were guardians of peace and justice in the old Republic. Before the Dark Side. Before the Empire.
What is up, guys? Wild High 77, aka Christopher Stolle, back for another Journal of the Jedi. Guys, thank you for joining me, and I hope you've been enjoying the content that I've been providing for you. I was hoping to have a guest to have a full-on conversation about this, but unfortunately, just time constraints and everything else has stopped me from being able to have that happen. But regardless of which, we are here today to discuss Star Wars Squadrons. Now, I've been wanting to talk about this since the announcement. I know I'm a little bit behind on it. A lot of the Star Wars fandom has already discussed this, and video game fandom has already discussed this. But I wanted to be able to go through the trailer with you guys and just give my points of view and all. I can already tell you I'm hyped for the game. I've wanted to play a Star Wars simulator, flight simulator since you know, the last great flight simulator, which was, you know, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, you know, so back in the PC days, you know, 486 SX 25, you know, whatever. But I know I just showed my age. But the overall impression of it is that I am heavily into this. I want this to happen. One of the major game types that I like to play on Battlefront 2, for those that follow on Sounds Dicey Gaming and have watched me play either with Order 69 or just, you know, screwing around for the fun of it for myself. You know that I really enjoy the Starfighter Assault more so than the FPS shooter version of Battlefront. So giving me a full-on game with single-player story arc and everything else that deals with the flight simulation, kind of harken back to like the Wing Commander days and stuff like that, I'm absolutely on board and all for it. So I'm going to stop right here. We're going to take a look at the trailer, and then when we come back, I will definitely discuss.
Second Death Star is gone, but the Imperial fleet is still a threat. Vanguard Squadron, let's make history.
This is it, Titan Squadron. Everything we've done has led to this. Finish those Vanguard scum!
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Earn your wings in a single-player story spanning 2 factions.
All stations! Fire on that ship!
And master multiplayer battles as a squadron of 5. With the option to play the entire game in VR. This is the definitive Star Wars pilot experience.
Come on, come on!
You'll begin your career in a single-player story.
Welcome to Titan Squadron.
Where you'll play as 2 combat pilots, flying for both the Empire and the New Republic. You'll experience this world through your cockpit. The instrumentation in front of you provides critical feedback about power management, targeting, and shields. With a squadron of diverse characters at your side, prove your skills on increasingly challenging missions.
Hello, Vanguard. Welcome to the Nadiri dockyard.
One of my spies has linked the attacks with the New Republic Starhawk project.
The story of the 2 pilots you play
Stick together.
will shape the balance of power in the galaxy.
Get ready!
Let him have it. To take the fight online, you'll need flight time with all 8 ships. Fighters are the most flexible and versatile, able to handle any situation. Interceptors are fast and highly maneuverable.
Let's get them.
Ideal for hunting down your opponent's starfighters.
That was kind of fun!
Support ships can keep allies safe and stocked up, as well as disrupting enemy fighters.
Light him up! Nice!
Bombers are the heavy hitters, able to deal devastating damage to enemy flagships and starfighters.
But if you've got a preferred component and need something customized, I'll take care of it.
Unlock everything you need to customize your pilot and starfighters simply by playing the game. From cosmetics to an arsenal of over 50 components that alter how your ships fly, fight, and survive.
They're on you!
I'll deal with it.
You can dramatically change your loadout depending on your squadron's strategy.
Finally got him!
This will be critical in Star Wars Squadrons multiplayer modes. First up, dogfights. This is an all-out 5v5 battle.
Vanguard 5, that was the best!
Fine-tune your loadouts to work as a team.
Moving in on the enemy.
Utilize components like tractor beams, turrets, and mines to slow down your opponents or set up your squad mates for the kill.
Rebels unmarked.
For teams looking for an even greater challenge, it's time to prove yourself in Star Wars Squadron's signature mode, Fleet Battles. Fleet Battles are multi-stage conflicts. Whether playing solo or with friends, you'll have the option to compete against other players or AI as a squadron of 5.
Don't worry, I got him for you.
Meet your team in the social hub to solidify strategy, coordinate loadouts, and prepare for takeoff. First, push the front line by winning the dogfight in the center of the map. Next, attack or defend 2 medium-sized capital ships.
We've lost our capital ships.
And finally, the ultimate goal. Target and destroy the subsystems of your opponent's massive flagship and take it down.
Shields are disabled.
At each phase, your squadron either pushes the line forward or falls back to defend.
Keep our flagship safe.
It's your squadron's choice of how to play.
I'm hit!
Speedy, unrelenting assaults,
Stay together, strike quickly.
stealth and subversion,
Jamming the enemy. Sensors can't spot you.
or brutal bombardment.
That ship is vulnerable. Take your shot.
We need to hurry.
A unified squadron is the key to victory.
Making my attack run now.
Let's make this count.
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Join the galaxy's finest and make your mark.
You are the hope of this galaxy.
Okay, we're back. I had to take a look at it again myself. I wanted to make sure I had everything fresh in memory. I hope you guys enjoyed that trailer. I'm probably going to get demonetized for its use. Definitely a copyright strike because of the music. But that's all right. I don't care. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for you guys, the entertainment. But so Star Wars Squadron, essentially you're getting a first-person flight simulation. Hopefully there is a third-person set to it. But what is neat to me is you could play in the single-player mode. You play as a pilot for either the Republic or the Empire, as far as taking place directly after the second Death Star's destruction. So you're obviously a pilot for either the Rebellion's Vanguard fleet, or you are a pilot for a TIE fighter squadron who is trying to stop the Vanguard fleet from whatever it is they're doing, whatever the storyline is. They didn't give too much detail in that trailer as far as that's concerned. Outside of taking revenge on the Vanguard fleet, Vanguard squadron for, the destruction of the Death Star. And obviously the fall of the Empire. This is neat, and it looks like it's very, very customizable. I think you can customize your pilot, so you don't have to play some Stark character like, for sake of argument, like Viden Ercio. In Battlefront 2, you don't have to be that character. You can probably be, and maybe I'm seeing that wrong, but it looks like you can make the character who you want it to be to represent you in the Vanguard fleet or Empire. And of course, the ships, the customization of the ships, and the fighters that you get to play. Obviously, we got the classics like the A-wing, the X-wing, the TIE fighter, the TIE bomber, the interceptor, and the Y-wings, and those are neat. But I like the fact that they're incorporating in some of the other ones, like the TIE striker that we learned from Rogue One, and the U-wing that we learned from Rogue One. I like the fact that these are getting implemented in. And it is kind of neat, even though it's all cosmetic, as far as being able to customize your cockpit. Like, I love that little scene where you got the Ewok bobblehead, in your cockpit. That was kind of funny. But at the same time, like, it seems like there's a huge customization to performance of your ship. Like, they said something like 50 different customizations that you can unlock to be able to have your ship be, more tailored to your play style. That is awesome. I love the fact that you can monkey with it. It's not just stock, and make the ship how you wish it to be, and not be, as at least what it seems, not as limiting as say, for the sake of argument, when you do like Battlefront 2 and you've only got 3 star cards. That you can level up to like level 4, but still you only get to use 3 out of however many you get to unlock for that particular ship. So that's an exciting viewpoint. I don't know, as far as the multiplayer, I don't know how I feel about just a 5v5. I'm hoping that 5v5 means that you get 10 players to play the game, but that they're still going to be incorporating in extra fighters, because it wouldn't seem like a real epic battle to me if it's only 5 pilots versus 5 pilots. To me, you've got to have some sort of at least AI component in there as well. Obviously, I'm not talking about like the capital ships or the mid-sized cruisers that probably are going to be part of targeting and stuff like that, like Star Destroyers or Mon Calamari frigates. But I mean, to me, you would need more fighters than just 5 opponents. Granted, 5 decent players are going to be a pain in the ass regardless as you play. But if I really want that Star Wars dogfight experience, I want to see a mess of TIE fighters coming at me, in the cockpit of my X-Wing going, oh my God, how am I going to take these out? Think of the part of Empire or Return of the Jedi where they TIE fighters start coming in and you get that shot. I think it was the Falcon's cockpit, and you just see like this stream of TIE fighters coming. I want to see something like that, and you can't have that with only 5 opponents. Now, I know they have a specialty mode they were talking about, and I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but essentially it's going to be the same as like the gameplay on Battlefront 2, where you take over 5 points, and then once you do that, you move on to the next thing where you're like invading a ship, and then you move on to the next. It's kind of the same deal. It's a push and pull type game experience with multiple game types, where you start off as a dogfight, and if you complete the dogfight experience, you move on to taking on mid-level cruisers, and if you're able to destroy them, then you take out a capital ship. Obviously, that one will probably be a little bit more of the epic adventure that I'm expecting. But even within a deathmatch, I think, personally, I think it has to have some form of AI intermixed with the 5-on-5, if for no other reason than just give extra targets. Even if they're not as dangerous and may pad the KD, if you're a person who cares about that, may pad the KD a little bit to your stat info, but at the same time, I think it would help immerse the experience a little bit more. That's just a personal opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think. Make sure you leave your comments in the comment section down below. But overall, I'm wondering, one, if this story is going to be canon. They haven't indicated one way or another, and I haven't I'll be fair, I haven't done the research yet to really take a look and see if the story we're going to get out of Squadrons and Vanguard Squadron and all that will be considered part of the Star Wars canon timeline, or not. There's no indication really of the story going on in the in the trailer that I just played, so I have no idea what the story arc is going to be. I'm excited, and I like the fact that I don't know the story. I like going in blind and fresh, and I'm really enjoying the fact that, like, unlike things like Battlefront, for example, Battlefront 2, I enjoyed Battlefront 2's single-player campaign, but it was a campaign of zero consequence. Everything that was happening happened anyway, regardless of whether Iden Versio existed or not. You know what I mean? So it was an interesting story arc, but it just, you know, it served no purpose to the story of Star Wars and the canon that we know it. So if Battlefront 2's campaign never existed, it wouldn't have changed anything within the story arc of what we know Star Wars canon to be. I'm hoping this one has a little bit more impact, especially because I'm excited that we're starting to explore more of the aftermath of Episode 6 and that 30-year gap between Episode 6 and Episode 7. I love the fact that we're starting to explore more into the world of you know, the rise of the New Republic, the fall of the Empire, the rise of the New Order, the rise of the Resistance. I'm excited to get those story arcs. I know we got canon books that kind of explored a little bit, and they're fine. You know, I'm not saying they're not. And I know we got comics, and I mean, but as far as the visual mediums are concerned, it's really been lackluster. I think the only thing that's really explored that world was a failed cartoon called Resistance. And even that was, again, something that really had no impact on the story arc. So I am excited to see what they do with this. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm sold on the game already, just giving me a Star Wars flight simulator. You know, you have me. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you know, X-Wing and TIE Fighter and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter were great games. And I loved flight simulators like Wing Commander. And that's exactly what this is feeling like to me. Mission-based, story-driven, first-person flight simulation looks absolutely beautiful and stunning, what you would expect from Star Wars. I mean, no matter what you feel about EA and what they've done with like loot boxes and everything else, the one thing that cannot be denied is that the Star Wars games that EA has released under the new contract with Lucasfilm have at least been visually stunning, and this game is no exception. So I'm excited. Overall, I can't wait for October. I've already placed my pre-order. I'm going to be getting it. I'm going to be exploring more into it as more develops into it. But I really want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you guys are new to the channel and you prefer your stuff in audio only format, well, you know, follow us on Anchor or iTunes or Spotify or Pandora, or now on iHeartRadio. We're there now too. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. May the Force be with you. I will catch you on the next Journal of the Jedi. Bye-bye. Hey guys, it's Chris from Realm of the Mist Entertainment. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out all the other great podcasts that can be found on Realm of the Mist Entertainment's YouTube channel or our sister channel, Sounds Dicey Gaming, for all your tabletop needs. And if you prefer your podcasts in audio-only format, check out Realm of the Mist Entertainment on Anchor.fm, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, or wherever quality podcasts can be heard. To our Patreon supporters, we thank you very, very much. And if you're interested in being a Patreon supporter, please go over to patreon.com/Realm of the Mist, and just $1 a month gives you exclusive content and helps our channel out greatly. Guys, again, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode.